This is where the warning lies. Under the influence of the last quarter moon, it's easy to mistake short-term impulse for long-term wisdom. Be cautious, particularly in matters related to your career, finances, and social reputation. Even as you feel the urge to move forward, double-check your choices, especially if they involve major shifts in direction. The clarity you seek may not come instantly, and knee-jerk reactions could lead to regret. Furthermore, relationships, both personal and professional, will be under the spotlight. This moon may reveal hidden tensions, unresolved conflicts, or patterns that have been festering beneath the surface. Some of these realizations might be uncomfortable, but they will serve as a catalyst for healing. Don't shy away from difficult conversations or the hard truths you've been avoiding. The last quarter moon calls you to face what's been hidden, to see things as they truly are, and to let go of what no longer serves your highest good. For those of us more sensitive to the energies of the moon, it's essential to be gentle with yourself. The mental and emotional strain of this period can sometimes be overwhelming, leaving you feeling both introspective and on edge. If you find yourself restless or anxious, allow these feelings to pass through without judgment. Trust that, like all lunar phases, this too shall pass. Remember, the moon is a mirror of our subconscious, and its waning light can bring both revelations and release. The key to navigating the next few days is patience and introspection. Take time to meditate, reflect, and journal. Ask yourself, what in my life has been calling for release? What do I need to make peace with in order to move forward? The last quarter phase of the moon is a time of cleansing, and it's not about forcing change, but about recognizing where change is already overdue. The process of letting go may not be easy, but it is necessary for growth. As you make these adjustments in your personal and emotional life, remember that you are not alone in feeling the weight of this moon. Collectively, we are all under its influence, navigating our way through a world that is ever-changing, ever-evolving. Reach out to others if you need support, but remember that the quiet moments of self-reflection are equally important. On the collective level, this moon has a distinct theme of detachment and release, not just in personal lives but across the globe. Aquarius encourages us to think about the greater good, to seek solutions that benefit everyone, not just the individual. This may manifest in protests or movements for social change, where the desire for freedom clashes with systems of control. As these energies rise, be mindful of the balance between standing up for what's right and holding space for peaceful resolution. The last quarter moon of April. 2025 offers a potent opportunity for transformation, but only if you are willing to embrace the discomfort of change. Trust that the universe has a plan for you, even if the path isn't immediately clear. When you find yourself at a crossroads, don't rush to make decisions. Pause, breathe, and reflect. Let go of what needs to be released and open yourself to the possibilities that await. The tension between the sun and moon is inevitable, but it's in the contrast where the magic lies. Embrace the ambiguity, trust the process, and remember, what ends now will make room for something far more aligned with your true self. The lunar cycle is a mirror, and right now it's reflecting exactly what you need to see, if you have the courage to look. As the last quarter moon draws nearer, the tension in the air will only intensify. You might find yourself caught in moments of self-doubt or second-guessing your decisions, particularly if you've been holding on to things or people that no longer align with your soul's journey. The cosmic energies are aligning to challenge you to break free from attachments that have outlived their purpose. And while this process might feel like a loss, it is, in truth, a profound gain. Letting go is not about abandoning. It's about making room for the new, the better, the more aligned. In the days leading up to this moon, you might experience moments of conflict, both internal and external. These conflicts may not necessarily be negative, though. In fact, they can serve as a necessary jolt to your system, pushing you into clarity. There could be arguments or misunderstandings, particularly with authority figures, family members, or anyone with whom you have deep emotional ties. If you find yourself caught in a difficult conversation, try to take a step back. Listen with empathy, but also trust your instinct to hold your ground when necessary. This isn't a time to shrink back into the shadows, but rather a time to stand firm in your truth, even if that means breaking away from what has been a familiar source of comfort. You may also find that your thoughts and feelings are more erratic than usual. The energy of Aquarius encourages individuality, detachment, and the exploration of unconventional ideas, which can feel freeing but also unsettling. Be careful not to get lost in a whirlwind of thoughts that pull you in 1,000 different directions. Meditation, journaling, or simple mindfulness practices will be crucial in maintaining your center during this chaotic energy. Sometimes the mind needs time to catch up with the heart, and right now, giving yourself permission to pause and reflect is a powerful act of self-care. This last quarter moon also challenges you to examine your relationship with power and control. Aquarius, as a fixed air sign, emphasizes intellect in the collective, while Taurus, as a fixed earth sign, symbolizes stability and material security. This juxtaposition asks you to reflect on where you may be holding too tightly to power or resources that no longer serve you. Do you fear change because it might threaten your security? Are you holding on to things for the sake of comfort rather than necessity? This is the time to answer these questions honestly and to release what no longer serves your highest good, especially when it comes to material possessions, financial concerns, or any structures in your life that feel outdated. Take extra care in matters related to your finances. This period can lead to unexpected disruptions in the financial markets, sudden expenses, or the unveiling of hidden financial truths. While Aquarius might tempt you to think of new and inventive ways to improve your financial situation, Taurus reminds you to be cautious and grounded in practical matters. If you've been putting off budgeting, managing debt, or reviewing investments, now is the time to address those issues. There's no need for drastic action, but awareness is key. Take a step back, reevaluate your relationship with money, and ensure that your actions reflect your long-term values. On a deeper spiritual level, the last quarter moon invites you to assess your inner alignment. Are your actions in harmony with your soul's true purpose? Have you been chasing external validation instead of following the whispers of your own intuition? Aquarius pushes you to consider the collective good, but Taurus grounds you in the personal, your physical body, your resources, your security. This tension may bring up feelings of doubt about your life's direction, but take heart in knowing that uncertainty is a natural part of transformation. In the quiet moments of reflection, you will begin to uncover the answers you seek. As we approach the final days before this last quarter moon peaks, take a step back and look at the patterns in your life. What is no longer serving you? What are you holding on to out of fear or nostalgia? And perhaps most importantly, what parts of yourself are you ready to shed in order to make space for growth and renewal? Remember, the moon's waning light is not one of despair, but of release. It clears away the debris so the new light of the upcoming new moon can shine even brighter. In these final moments leading up to the last quarter moon, engage in rituals that honor both closure and new beginnings. Light a candle for each area of your life that needs attention, whether it's relationships, career, or personal growth. And take a few moments to set intentions for release. Allow yourself to feel gratitude for everything that has brought you to this point. Even if it's painful to let go, trust that the universe is preparing you for something bigger, something more aligned with your truest self. While the last quarter moon of April 2025 brings with it a sense of urgency and pressure, it also offers the immense potential for transformation and growth. The process of release may not always be easy, and it may not always feel comfortable, but it is necessary for your evolution. As the moon wanes, so too do the attachments and beliefs that no longer serve you. Take this time to embrace the discomfort, to lean into the tension, and to trust that the universe is guiding you towards something greater. When the moon finally passes through this phase and begins its darkening journey, you'll be left with the space you need to prepare for the new beginnings that lie just ahead. Stay grounded, stay aware, and most importantly, stay true to yourself. The energies of this last quarter moon may shake you, but they will also elevate you to a higher level of understanding and awareness, preparing you for the new lunar cycle that will soon begin. As the moon fades further into shadow, you may begin to notice subtler, more spiritual shifts emerging beneath the surface of your day-to-day experience. It's as if the noise of the world is beginning to hush, just enough for the universe to speak. In this stillness, You're being asked to pay attention to the signs, those synchronicities, sudden feelings, or vivid dreams that carry messages you might otherwise overlook. This is not a time to brush off your intuition. In fact, it's your most powerful tool now. Dreams during this moon phase may be especially intense, vivid, or symbolic. They're not just random visions. They are messages from your subconscious and from spirit, trying to show you what you haven't yet consciously acknowledged. Keep a journal by your bed. Write them down. Don't try to interpret everything right away. Just trust that what needs to rise will rise, and what is meant to be understood will reveal itself in time. Energetically, this last quarter moon is also an opportunity to recalibrate your inner compass. If you've been feeling lost or uncertain, it's because your soul is shifting directions. The old roadmap no longer applies, and that's a good thing. It means you're evolving. The universe is peeling away the layers that no longer resonate with who you are becoming. And yes, this can be painful. Letting go always comes with a cost, but it is a sacred cost, one that opens the door to true freedom. This is your metamorphosis. You might also notice people from your past suddenly reappearing, old friends, former lovers, unresolved connections. These aren't coincidences. The universe is giving you one last glance at what used to be, not to tempt you back, but to show you just how far you've come. Resist the urge to return to what once was. Instead, observe, feel, release. Closure doesn't always come with a conversation or an apology. Sometimes it comes in the quiet realization that you no longer need what once defined you. Now more than ever, boundaries will be your ally. This moon can bring up situations that test your strength. Emotional vampires, toxic cycles, even your own old self trying to claw its way back into your present. Stay rooted, stay clear. Not everything that wants your attention deserves your energy. Protect your peace as if it were sacred, because it is. Physically, you may feel tired or sluggish during this time. Your body too is processing these shifts. It is storing and shedding, releasing what it no longer needs. Don't fight the fatigue. Rest is not weakness. It is preparation. You are clearing space, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, for the next chapter. Honor your need to slow down, to disconnect, to just be. As the moon prepares to disappear into darkness, you are doing the same. You are dissolving the illusions, the outdated identities, the masks. You are returning to the core of who you are, stripped of distraction, stripped of noise. This sacred descent into the lunar shadows is not an ending. It is a powerful beginning in disguise. Let the stillness of this phase be your teacher. Let it show you what truly matters when all else fades. Let it remind you that even when you cannot see the moon, it is still there. Whole, present, powerful, just beyond the veil. And so are you. Whole, present, powerful. As this last quarter moon completes its cycle, know this. Your willingness to let go will determine your readiness to receive. What you release now will shape what you manifest in the weeks to come. So release with intention, release with grace, release with the faith that what is meant for you is already making its way to you, even if you can't see it just yet. As the night sky deepens and the last quarter moon begins to retreat, there's a quiet power in the air, one that beckons you to pause, to breathe, and to listen. The energy of this phase is not about action or forward momentum. It is a time to sink inward, to honor the silence between the waning and the waxing. This stillness holds the potential for profound transformation, but only if you allow yourself to surrender to it. In these final hours of the moon's descent, there's a profound lesson in the art of surrender. Often, we cling to the idea that we must constantly push, strive, and do. But this lunar phase invites you to release that sense of urgency and trust in the cosmic flow. You don't need to have all the answers right now. You don't need to figure everything out. The universe is quietly rearranging the pieces of your life, and it will all make sense in time. There is a sacred wisdom in waiting, in the pause. In the quiet void before the new moon's return, you are being asked to gather your strength, to replenish your energy, and to align your heart with what you truly desire. You may not have the clarity you seek today, but trust that as the moon moves through its next cycle, so too will your path become clearer. The last quarter. Moon teaches you that it's okay to not know everything all at once. It's okay to lean into uncertainty. During this phase, some of you may experience moments of deep introspection, perhaps feeling more sensitive or vulnerable than usual. This is not a weakness, but an invitation to explore your emotional landscape. What are you truly feeling beneath the surface? What have you been too afraid to acknowledge, perhaps for fear of what it might mean? Allow yourself to sit with your emotions, to explore your inner world with kindness and without judgment. Healing happens in the quiet, when we allow ourselves to truly feel and process. If you feel overwhelmed, it's okay to retreat for a moment, to create space for yourself to breathe. Disconnect from external expectations, from the noise of the world, and reconnect with your inner sanctuary. This moon phase is not about forcing yourself to be productive. It's about recalibrating your energy, reclaiming your peace, and fortifying your spirit for what is to come. For those of you who are feeling particularly challenged by this energy, remember that the moon's influence is never permanent. The darkness you may feel now is temporary, and the light will return. In times of discomfort, take comfort in knowing that the discomfort is necessary. It's pushing you toward growth, helping you shed the old, and guiding you to embrace a more authentic version of yourself. When you emerge from this moon phase, you will do so renewed, having shed what no longer serves your journey. The clarity that awaits you in the coming weeks is hard-earned, but deeply satisfying. And as you let go of the past, as you release the weight of outdated beliefs, behaviors, or relationships, you will feel lighter, freer, more open to the new opportunities that await. This phase of the lunar cycle is also a reminder that nothing is ever truly lost. Just as the moon waxes and wanes, so do the cycles of our lives. What feels like an ending now will soon turn into a new beginning. Every release is not a loss. It is an invitation for something new to take its place. Trust in the cyclical nature of life. The moon doesn't disappear. It only shifts, making way for the new to emerge. As you move through the last days of this lunar cycle, take a moment to reflect on how far you've come. Think back to the new moon of April, when fresh intentions were set. Look at what has unfolded since then. What seeds were planted and how have they begun to grow? While this last quarter moon asks you to release, it also invites you to reflect on the progress you've made, the lessons you've learned, and the wisdom you've gained. You are not the same person you were a few weeks ago, and this cycle of growth is still unfolding. Now, as we approach the darkest moments of this lunar cycle, know that the universe is preparing you for something greater, something brighter. The moon is simply pulling back so that it can shine even more brightly once it begins its next phase. And so too are you. Your own personal darkness, your struggles, your letting go, are simply making way for a brighter version of yourself, one that will emerge even more resilient, empowered, and aligned with your soul's purpose. In these final moments, hold on to the knowledge that the last quarter moon is not an ending, but rather a time of recalibration and preparation. You are being guided through the shadows so that you can fully step into the light. And when the new moon arrives, you will find that you are standing in a new space, ready to begin again, but with the wisdom of this cycle in your heart. As the night grows darker and the last quarter moon continues to wane, a sense of completion begins to settle in. Yet within this sense of closure, there is also the unmistakable feeling of anticipation. It's as if the cosmos is holding its breath, waiting for the exact moment when the old cycle ends and a new one can begin. And in this suspended space, you are asked to trust in the timing of the universe. There is no rush. There is no need to force things into being. The energy now is about stillness, acceptance, and quiet preparation. This moon phase asks you to be present with what is without judgment or resistance. Allow yourself to sit with the ebb and flow of emotions, thoughts, and circumstances. They may seem chaotic or unsettling, but rest assured, they are clearing the way for a new sense of purpose. The shadows that linger now are simply the remnants of what no longer aligns with your highest good. They may feel heavy, but in truth, they are lightening your load. As you move through this final phase, it's essential to remind yourself that the universe has a way of guiding you, even when the path ahead feels unclear. Trust in your inner compass. The doubts you feel, the fear that might occasionally rise, these are all part of the process. You are shedding layers, breaking free from constraints that you may not have even realized were holding you back. The discomfort you feel is a sign of growth, and growth always requires some stretching, some breaking apart before the pieces can be put back together, stronger and wiser. In the days leading up to the new moon, remember that everything is being recalibrated, including your energy, your mindset, and your heart. What you release now will pave the way for a deeper connection to your true essence. The universe is not asking you to do anything. It is asking you to be, to let go, to breathe into the emptiness that now surrounds you, and trust that it will soon be filled with new opportunities, new ideas, and new beginnings. During this time, it is wise to pause and reflect on your relationships, particularly the ones that have been under strain or that may have reached their natural conclusion. Aquarius, the sign that governs this last quarter moon, urges you to think about the greater collective good, the people who truly matter, and those with whom your energy aligns most authentically. Taurus, with its grounding influence, asks you to return to the core of what feels stable and secure in your relationships. Who in your life is nurturing you? Who is draining your energy? Be honest with yourself about what connections are worth preserving and which ones need to be released. But beyond relationships, this is also a time to reflect on your relationship with yourself. Have you been honoring your own needs and desires? Have you been listening to your intuition, or have you been disregarding it in favor of other people's expectations? This moon phase is not just about external release. It is about internal clarity. If you've been avoiding certain truths about yourself, about your desires, or about your potential, now is the time to face them. Acknowledge what needs healing, what needs nurturing, and what parts of yourself you've ignored for too long. In the final stretch of this phase, the last quarter moon brings with it an invitation to realign your vision. You've let go of the outdated, the unnecessary, the things that were holding you back. Now, with that space cleared, it's time to refine your focus. What do you truly want to create in the upcoming months? The answers may not be crystal clear yet, and that's okay. Sometimes clarity comes not in the moment of release, but in the quiet reflection that follows. This is the time to get clear on your intentions for the next phase of your journey. As you move through this final release, trust that the universe is not taking anything from you. It is simply making space for what you truly need. And in that space, there is boundless potential. Like the moon disappearing into darkness, you too are temporarily stepping into the unknown. But this is not a void. It is a womb of possibility. It is in this darkness that new life is formed, and in the same way, you are being shaped, refined, and prepared for a new chapter. So in the final days leading up to the new moon, remember, the shadows are not to be feared. They are your allies in this moment of transition. The unknown is not a threat. It is a gift. You are being prepared for what's next. And when the new moon rises, you will step forward with renewed clarity, purpose, and the wisdom of this last quarter phase. Embrace the stillness, the release, and the power of this transitional moment